Welcome back. It's been a while, but let's get to it because I'm actually really excited to read about Joshua and everything that he stood for. So let's get to it. Joshua chapter 10. The sun stands still. So he's a true warrior and God listens to him. Now it came to pass when Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard how Joshua had taken Ai and utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and its king, so he had done to Ai and its king. And now the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly because Gibeon was a great city, like one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than in Ai, and all its men were mighty. Therefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent to Hoham, king of Hebron, Piram, king of Jarmuth, Japhia, king of Lachish, and Deber, king of Eglon, saying, Come up to me and help me, and we may attack Gibeon. For it has made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon gathered up and went up with all their armies and camped before Gibeon and made war against it. And the man of Gibeon sent to Joshua at the camp of Gilgal, saying, Do not forsake your servants. Come up to us quickly, save us, and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites who dwell in the mountains have gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, and he and all his people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said to Joshua, Do not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hand. Not a man of them shall stand before you. Joshua therefore came up upon them, and suddenly, having marched all night from Gilgal, so the Lord routed them before Israel, killed them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, chased them along the roads that goes to Beth Horon, and struck them down as far as Azekah and Makkedah. And it happened as they fled before Israel, and there was a descent of Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down large hailstones from heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died from the hailstones than the children of Israel killed with the sword. Guys, just let God do it. Then Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and the moon in the valley of Aijalon. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the people had revenge upon their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jasher, that the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and they did not hasten to go down for about a whole day? And there has been no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord heeded the advice of the man, that the Lord fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned, and all of Israel with him, to the camp of Gilgal. Verse 10. The Amorite king executed. But these 5 kings had fled and hidden themselves in the cave of Makkedah. And it was said, and it was told, saying, The 5 kings that have found hidden in the cave of Makkedah. So Joshua said, Roll stones against the mouth of the cave and set men by it to guard them. Do not stay there for yourselves, but pursue your enemies and attack their rear guard. Do not allow them to enter their cities, for the Lord your God has delivered them into your hand. Then it stopped, while Joshua and the children of Israel made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they had finished what they had escaped, entered fortified cities, and all the people returned to the camp to Joshua and Makkedah in peace. No one moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then Joshua said, Open the mouth of the cave and bring out the 5 kings to me from the cave. And they did so, and brought out the 5 kings to him of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. So it was, when they brought out these kings to Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said to the captains of the men of the war who went with him, Come near, put your feet in the necks of these kings. And they drew near and put their feet on their necks. Then Joshua said to them, Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus the Lord will do to all of our enemies against whom you fight. And afterward, Joshua struck them and killed them and hanged them on 5 trees. And they were hanging on the trees until evening. So it was the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded that they get taken down from the trees, cast them into the cave where they had been hidden, and laid large stones against the cave's mouth, which remain until this very day. On the day Joshua took Makkedah and struck it with the king with the edge of the sword, he utterly destroyed them and all the people who were in it. He let none remain. He also did that to the king of Makkedah, as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Makkedah and all Israel with him to Libnah, and they fought against Libnah. And the children who delivered it to its king until the hand of Israel, he struck it and all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword. He let none remain in it, but did to its king as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Libnah and all of Israel with him to Leshnah. And they encamped against it and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, who took it on the second day and struck it with all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword, according to all that he has done to Libnah. Then Horon, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua struck him and his people until he left none remaining. From Lachish, Joshua passed to Eglon, and all Israel with him, and they encamped against it and fought against it. They took it on that day and struck it with the edge of the sword, and all the people who were in it were utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. So Joshua went up from Eglon and all of Israel with him to Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it and struck it with the edge of the sword, its king and its cities, and all the people who were in it. He left none remaining according to all that he had done to Eglon, but utterly destroyed it and all the people who were in it. Then Joshua returned and all Israel with him to Debir, and they fought against it. And he took it to its king and all its cities, and they struck him with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying all the people who were in it. He left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron. So he did to Debir and its king, as he had done to Libnah and its king. So Joshua conquered all of the land, that the mountain country and the south and the lowland and the wilderness slopes, and all their kings he left none remaining, but utterly destroyed all that he breathed, as the Lord God of Israel had commanded. And Joshua conquered them from Kadesh Barnes as far as Gaza, and all the country Goshen as far as Gibeon. All these kings and their land Joshua took at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned and all of Israel with him in the camp of Gilgal. Joshua chapter 11. And it came to pass, when Jabin, king of Hazor, heard these things, and he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, and the king of Shamron, and to the king of Askapash. And the kings who were from the north in the mountains and the plain, from the south of Chinneroth in the lowland, and in the heights of Dor on the west, and the Canaanites in the east and the west, and the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Jebusite in the mountains, and the Hivite below the Hermon and the land of Mizpah. So they went out, and they all in their armies with them, as many people as the sand as is the seashore, in multitude, with many horses and chariots. And when all these kings had met together, they came and camped together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. But the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid because of them, for tomorrow about Israel, this time I will deliver all of them slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire." So Joshua and all the people of war with him came against them suddenly by the waters of Merom, and they attacked them. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, who defeated them and chased them to greater Sidon, and the brook Mesurapoth, and the valley of Mizpath toward they attacked him, until there was none of them remaining. So Joshua did to them as the Lord had told them. He hamstringed their horses and burned their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back into the time and took Hazor and struck its king with the sword, for Hazor was formerly the head of all those kingdoms. And they struck all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There were none left breathing, and burned Hazor with fire. So all the city of those kings and all their kings Joshua took and struck the edge of the sword. He utterly destroyed them as Moses the servant the Lord had commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them except for Hazor only, which Joshua burned. And all the spoil of these cities and the livestock and the children of Israel took as booty for themselves, and they struck every man with the edge of the sword until they were destroyed them, and they left none breathing. And the Lord had commanded Moses to servant, so Moses commanded Joshua. And so Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord had commanded Moses. Thus Joshua took all this land, the mountain country, and the south, and the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Jordan plain, and the mountains of Israel and its lowlands, from Mount Halak and ascent to Seir, even as far as Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon below Mount Hermon. He captured all their kings and struck them down and killed them. Joshua made war a long time for those kings. There were not a city that made peace with the children of Israel except for the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. All the others they took in battle. For it was the Lord to harden their hearts, and they should come against Israel in battle, and they might utterly destroy them, and that they may receive no mercy, but that he may destroy them, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And at that time Joshua came and cut off the Anakim from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, and from Anab, from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. None of the Yakim were left in the land of the children of Israel. They remained only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord had said to Moses, and Joshua gave it to them as an inheritance to Israel according to their divisions by the tribes. Then the land rested from war. Guys, that was only 2 chapters, so we're going to end there, and we're just going to have a little bit more shorter clips, okay? So I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, it's time for me to go.